Oliver Moore is in Seattle and in the lineup for the Blackhawks tonight. We'll hear from him. We'll hear from Jeff Blashill and much more next as we preview the game against the Kraken on the CHGO Blackhawks Pregame Show. Happy Monday. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks pregame show presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Mario Tirabassi.
Hello.
Sarah Fichter is over there running the show today. She's done screaming, waking me up in the middle of the night as I'm trying to sleep to a Bears podcast, and I just wake up to Michigan! University of Michigan! Sarah screaming.
I'm a little more calm today.
Good. You're going to be screaming Oliver Moore later in the show.
Everybody's had the come down from the Bears game now.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thanks for being with us. We hope this game lives up to the excitement of the Bears game. Let's hope the defense is a little better for the Blackhawks in this one. Do us a favor, hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. And you won't be listening to this on a podcast, but you might listen to us on a future podcast. So subscribe on your favorite podcast app because we are on 5 times a week, pre-games, post-games, in-studio shows. We're all over the place, so you don't want to miss a single episode. So be sure to subscribe everywhere. So the big news of the day, Oliver Moore called up. He did miss Saturday's game in Rockford kind of at the last minute and then called up officially today. Jason Dickinson moves to IR, retroactive to October 30th, and Landon Slaggert sent down to Rockford. We'll get to all those things through the course of the pregame show, but very exciting, kind of out of the blue. When I saw when he was not playing Saturday, I thought, maybe that means he's coming. I don't know why he couldn't play Saturday and play tonight, but whatever.
I mean, if you know you're going to call him up and you know you're going to play him, don't get him hurt. Don't need to play him in a game that, not to say it doesn't matter because they all matter for the Ice Hogs and everything, but don't need to play him when it's unnecessary.
Well, look, he has certainly earned this opportunity, and I think, as we look at the way the Blackhawks develop their young players, they seem to have this kind of plan for a lot of their young, talented guys is we're going to start you in Rockford, and when you show us you are ready to come here, as soon as the opportunity presents itself, we're going to give you that opportunity. I don't think there's any sort of arbitrary 50 games, 60 games, a whole season, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
When they think you're ready, you will play here, and Oliver Moore has certainly earned it. 9 points in 9 games. He's been outstanding. I thought he was one of the better Hawks in the preseason, too.
Yeah.
I thought he earned a spot out of camp. Apparently not, but went down there, finished all the opportunities he got, and has earned a spot, and maybe this is one of those situations where he never looks back.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that would be way ahead of schedule that I think we thought he would be on once he did start the season in Rockford, and the Blackhawks got off to the start that they did. I know we have all kind of dubbed it the Frank Nazar plan of go down and play until you can't be denied a spot in the NHL. And we talked about it on Friday's mini pod about him and Nick Lardis of like the Blackhawks have been better, so the need for those guys to come up ahead of schedule is not really there. So, give it some time. Well, the Blackhawks felt that given some injuries, given the way that he's played, give him a shot. And Kyle Davidson, as Ben Pope wrote about it, told Oliver Moore when he was going to Rockford, like, make you a spot in the NHL. And I think part of that is true. And I think also part of it is the circumstance with Jason Dickinson's injury. So a big opportunity for him. We are awaiting the Lions because this was an optional morning skate this morning. So we'll see where he goes. But I think it probably would make sense that they'd try and put him into like a second line or
I mean,
third
you could
line
do that.
role.
I just don't know if I'm changing anything because the Bedard, Green, Burakovsky line's been good. Nazar and Teravainen and Bertuzzi's been good.
Probably third line then.
Yeah, or you just put him there with Foligno on the fourth and let him go where you feel like just give him select shifts with whoever. A guy like Oliver Moore gives you a lot of options. Like that's a guy who you feel comfortable playing him probably in all roles.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll get power play time, but I could see him getting some PK time. I can see him definitely getting some shifts with Bedard and Nazar. It's going to be really good to watch him play. And as our buddy Windy City Hockey pointed out in the chat, like the Kraken are not a fast team, and they're about to play a very fast team.
Yeah.
So you are going to see an already electrifyingly fast Blackhawks team now adding the fastest guy in the organization and Oliver Moore.
Probably, yeah. As far as straight line speed, yeah. I'm excited to see what he does because he played the 9 games at the end of last season when him and Sam Rinzel joined the team at the same time, and a lot of the focus was on Rinzel and the way that he played in those 9 games. But Oliver Moore also got off to a really good start. He had 4 assists in those 9 games. Yep. He was a guy that looked like he was ready to make that transition to the pro game. And I mean, you look at his start in Rockford, like a lot of what we were kind of questioning about. Okay, like we know the speed is evident. We know that the motor is there. We know that the willingness to play hard on the forecheck and all that is all there. But is the skill level going to translate? Is he going to be able to finish chances? Is he going to be able to have his hands and brain be at the same pace of his feet? I think through the first 9 games in Rockford, it seems like he's got that going for him. So now it'll be the next test is, can it translate to the NHL speed?
Well, being the fastest guy in the organization, I think it'll be fine. I think he's going to hold his own pretty well. Why don't we hear from Oliver Moore right now? We're going to hear from Jeff Blashill a little bit later, but he sat down after the optional morning skate to chat with the media in Seattle. Here it is.
Getting in NHL rinks again and everything, just kind of looking around, taking in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, any chance you get to play in the NHL, obviously it's the best league in the world, so everything's obviously high class here, and yeah, I mean, this rink's pretty cool, like I was just saying, and yeah, it's gonna be fun.
What do you think of it as kind of a unique arena?
Yeah, I mean, the lighting's pretty funny. I mean, it feels like it's like a blend of an NHL rink, and then you get those youth hockey rinks sometimes with the light coming in through the sun, you get some bad ice, but no, it's obviously a great rink. I love the architecture, it's great.
They pull the curtain over at night.
They do, so, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say it probably wouldn't affect it anyway. Just with no sun at night.
Yeah. Anyway, what was yesterday like for you in terms of getting the news?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a whirlwind. I was getting ready to bust out to Grand Rapids as a team, getting ready to go play a game. It's kind of like lacing up my skates, and Nick Anderson just pulled me into the coach's office and was just like, yeah, you're going up. So I was like, all right, and just hopped on a flight, came here, got in, and it's great to be here. Obviously, I didn't get a ton of sleep last night, but I don't think that matters. So, got a lot of energy. I'm ready to go. So,
you're paying attention to the roster. You see, Jason Dickinson's missed a couple of games here. They might need a body. Do you start thinking it might be you, or do you not let yourself think about things like that?
I didn't really look at that. Obviously, I hope Dickie's healthy and everything's good there, but I didn't really know that was going on. To be honest, was just trying to play hockey and win games. So, I didn't know that was going on, but yeah, it's good to be here.
What did you think your timetable was going to be in Rockford? Like, what was your expectation for this season for when you might get a call-up?
Yeah, I think the expectation was for me to just go down there and play winning hockey and dominate and try to do that down there. I think the first thing Kyle told me was just make a spot for you. So that's kind of obviously I was just trying to play hockey down there, have fun, and be loose and play my game. But I'm grateful to be here.
To produce at the level you were down there, how confident are you feeling right now coming into this?
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot more confident. Just being able to get games down there and, like you said, build confidence, produce, create scoring chances offensively, and play a lot of minutes in all situations. I think it's never going to hurt your development doing that. And yeah, I mean, grateful for the 9 games on there and the guys too. It was awesome. So
it's tough because you need to be patient, but you also see other young guys making an impact right away. You want to be a part of that. How do you balance that? How do you find the patience when you want to be up here and play?
Yeah, obviously the goal is to play in the NHL, but at the same time, I mean, everyone's timetable looks different. I mean, you look down the rosters of Stanley Cup winning teams. There's a lot of guys who have played in the American League before, so it's not really. I didn't try to look at it as a step back, but more of a step forward for my development. Being able to play those minutes, like I said, and it's just going to prepare you for whatever your ceiling's going to be, and that's all I'm going to try to do is just be the best version of myself. So
what do you think your ceiling's going to be?
I'm not going to put a limit on it, that's for sure. No reason to put a limit on it, but just try to get better every day. Yeah.
What are the biggest things that you feel like you worked on or improved down there?
Like I said, I mean, any chance you get to play in pro hockey and play those kind of minutes, you learn a lot, I think. And I think PKing, just details of the pro game. The schedule is different, obviously. The American League schedule is different than the NHL schedule, but just playing games a lot, taking care of your body, and I mean, I think trying to take what I did from the summer and translate it onto the ice. So,
how important were those games you got at the end of last year so that this doesn't overwhelm you or that your adrenaline isn't spiking too high?
Yeah, definitely huge. I feel like getting a good taste. Obviously, we played in some important games last year too, and it feels like coming in here every game's going to be really important for us and trying to win hockey games. So, I mean, it definitely prepared me. Over the summer especially, I think just learning what I have to improve on, and I feel like it's definitely paying off so far, so look to keep that going.
What did you see from Nick Lardis down there?
Yeah, he's obviously became one of my best buddies on there for sure. He's such an easy guy to get along with, and he's an unbelievable hockey player. I think, I've talked about it before, but just he produces. He finds ways to put the puck in the back of the net, obviously. And, I mean, he's a super easy guy to play with, too. Him and Brett Senior made my transition so much easier as well, so grateful for that.
That was obviously Oliver Moore after the morning skate today. Thanks to the Blackhawks for use of that video. And just like magic, we play a video and the lines appear. Mario, you want to do the honors?
Yes.
Or are you fashioning a tweet?
The lines as they are for the Chicago Blackhawks, top to bottom. Connor Bedard centering Ryan Green and Andre Burakovsky. Frank Nazar on the second line, centering Teuvo Teravainen and Tyler Bertuzzi. Ryan Donato on the third line, centering Ilya Mikheyev and Oliver Moore. Nick Foligno and Colton Dock make up the two-man fourth line. Your defensive pairs are Vlasic and Renzel. Wyatt Kaiser and Artem Levshinov, Matt Grzelcyk and Connor Murphy, and Louis Crevier is also there.
At the same time.
They will rotate, and Arvid Soderblom is your starter tonight for your Chicago Blackhawks.
That third pair should be one guy. They all sit on each other's shoulders.
That would be some big shoulders to be up there.
And then just lay down and a block shot.
Yeah.
Wins.
If you put Murphy and Crevier and Grzelcyk
Grzelcyk on the top, of
head
course.
to toe,
yeah.
Across the blue line, would they reach board to board?
Good luck.
And just create a human obstacle?
If they were defending the Blackhawks, they would still do the slingshot power play, though, and it would still not work. No, good opportunity for Moore to play with a speedy Mikheyev, a guy who can score in Donato. Also, both those guys play responsibly defensively.
Yeah, I like
so
that
it takes a
line.
little bit of that pressure off him where he doesn't have to be the best defensive option on a line. I really like that. Interested to see if he'll have any sort of special teams time, but that's great. Really good news for Oliver Moore. Let's hear from Jeff Blashill and then get into the other part of this. The Dickinson move to IR and Landon Slagger's move to Rockford. We'll do that after we hear from Jeff Blashill, again, courtesy of our friends at the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, so Oliver Moore is here. Is he going to play tonight?
We expect Ollie to play tonight, yes.
Well, I mean, obviously Dickinson being hurt allowed you to make the move, but what do you envision for him?
I think when Ollie's at his best, he makes an impact on the game with his tenacity and his speed, his compete. He's got good skill to go along with that, so hopefully, I think one of the positives, I think when you get sent down is you have an opportunity to really gain confidence and He's gone down there and played well, and so I think he comes back at a point where his confidence is really really high. So that's good. So hopefully he can just add to our forward depth and again make an impact with his tenacity, his speed, and his overall compete.
How do you monitor Rockford? I mean, you obviously got so much on your plate up here. Do they send you like clips packages? Do you get to watch the full games?
Well, we're pretty lucky. I get opportunities to watch shifts basically on a click of a button through our internal stuff. So I've had opportunities to watch his shifts in particular. It starts with feedback from Kyle and the management group, feedback from Jared Nightingale, who I talk to on a regular basis, how they're playing, and then I get a chance to watch myself. So ultimately, I still think it's more reliant on the feedback you get because you don't get a chance to watch enough, and it's not quite the same as being there live, but it does give you a feel for where they're at.
And is Jared running systems that are similar to yours?
Yeah, they're similar. For the most part, I think the PK is a little bit different, so that's one thing that would be a little bit different. But for the most part, they're very, very similar. Sometimes as you go through a season, you tweak your system, so there might be little tweaks that are different. But I think he feels comfortable in where our systems are at, and which is great because then he can allows him to kind of play without overthinking.
Is he definitely playing tonight?
We expect Ollie to be in tonight.
Is there any update on Dickinson?
Just that we put him on the IR. I would expect it to be kind of more of a week-to-week thing now as opposed to day-to-day. I'm not saying months. I just think it's more of a week-to-week thing. So, he flew back so he can do some rehab back at home.
How are you planning to, I guess, kind of ease Oliver in? Like, what's your instructions?
I don't know that I'll ease him in particular. I think he's here to help us win a hockey game and play to his ability. So, I think he'll get good opportunities. But we're going to make some decisions probably on special teams and things like that. It's especially without practicing. Some of that's hard. As I said, penalty kill wise, it's really hard because they do it a little bit different. Power play wise, we have guys in spots. But I think from a 5-on-5 aspect, he'll have an opportunity to make a real impact.
He's gotten in a handful of games last year, but adrenaline's going to be real high tonight. Do you have to kind of make sure he dials it back a little bit, or do you want him to ride that?
Yeah, I mean, it is, ultimately, I can't control that. And I think I think when you try to dial it back too much, you almost calm yourself down too much. Let's ride the adrenaline play. And if you're going to make a mistake, make it out of compete and work and skating, and we'll live with that mistake.
Connor Murphy's ice time is the lowest it's been in a while. I saw you only got 3 shifts in the third period in Edmonton. What's your message then?
I would just say, we talked a little bit. I think the important thing with Connor is there's every night's a little bit different. Now the one thing with Edmonton is as the game went along, we liked certain matchups, and those two guys play so much that you can really get in a tough spot when you're looking for the match, which we were. Connor's been a good player for us. Connor's a leader for us. Some nights he's going to play more than others. That's the reality of where our situation is. Some nights certain guys are playing really good hockey and they'll get more minutes. That's why we're dressing 7. Some nights they're not, and Connor gets more minutes. And it just depends how the night goes. So just like every other guy on our team, he's going to excel within the minutes you get and try to put yourself in position to continue to demand more.
All right, that's Jeff Blashill. Thanks to the Hawks for use of that video. And just to be clear, if you missed it, that last question was about Connor Murphy, not Connor Bedard.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes, the other Connor, the old Connor, old man Connor. Yes. So I like what he said there about Oliver Moore, though, is we're not going to tell him to dial it back. We're going to tell him to ride the adrenaline, ride the excitement, and if we make a mistake of aggression, we'll live with that mistake. Love that.
Yeah.
Because that's the sort of feeling you want a young player to have entering a game. He's going to be a bag full of nerves. He's going to be thinking about, I just hope I don't hurt the team. The easiest way to hurt the team is to worry about hurting the team.
Yeah.
Right? Just go out there, be Oliver Moore, be fast, be aggressive, finish your checks, bury your chances. That's what you're here to do. That's why they called you up. They don't want you to sit back at the blue line and just poke check your way through the game. No. You're here for a reason. Go out and be yourself. I love that message was delivered by Blashill clearly to Oliver Moore.
Yeah, I mean, he's said it before, Blashill has, that he'd rather have to pull someone back than to try and get their motor going. And it seems like Oliver Moore is not a guy that you have to do that. Like, I think he's a young, energetic player that knows the style of hockey he needs to play to be successful. And I'm of the belief as well of if you're gonna make a mistake, at least be doing it at 150 miles per hour. Like, just go.
Yeah.
Like, and I think like that's what you want Oliver Moore to do. And honestly, like the way that guys like Ryan Donato and Ilya Mikheyev have been playing, Oliver Moore is probably going to get a chance tonight.
Yeah,
because,
I would think so.
Because with those guys at 5-on-5 and the way that they've been playing, they've been opening up some opportunities as well. So I'm really excited. I think that's a really good spot to put him in for his first game of the season. But yeah, I think too, as was said by either Ben or Mark, he's had the 9 games before, so it's not really the like, oh my god, this is my first
debut,
NHL game.
right?
Like he's back into it. Like it's a new season, it's a new opportunity, but he's been in the NHL before.
All right, a couple things. We have about 300 people watching a pregame show at 8:50 on a Monday night. Thank you for that. Let's get over 100 likes. Hit that like button for us, please. We also want to let you know, as we are presented by Bet365, our buddy Sean Anderson has submitted a boosted same-game parlay on Bet365. You get the Hawks on the money line, Frank Nazar 3+ shots on goal, and the Blackhawks to score first. That is boosted from plus 650 to plus 750. So jump on that same-game parlay by Sean Anderson on Bet365. Use our code Bet365 when you sign up. Take advantage of that. Great. And that seems...
I like that.
I mean...
They've scored.
I think the Hawks are going to win.
They've scored first in the majority of their games. Yeah. I do like their chances against Seattle, and
I'm jumping on it.
I'm all for a Frank Nazar goal.
I'm jumping on that. So let's get. Oh, damn, that worked. I was about to say let's get to 100 likes, and we have 115.
Boom.
What I meant to say was let's get to 150 likes, please. We would appreciate that by the end of the show. All right, let's get to the other part of this transaction before we wrap things up. Jason Dickinson to IR. When he left the game the other night, we were all kind of in agreement, like, listen, man.
You've been in and out of the
You are a trooper. We appreciate what you're trying to do, but at some point, especially when you're playing with 11 forwards and you're having to constantly leave games because you're nagging injuries, just shut it down, get healthy. Yeah. Jason Dickinson at 80% isn't a ton of help to this team right now. Maybe that sounds harsh, but he needs to be close to 100% to be a contributor that belongs in a lineup every night. I love the guy. Plays his ass off and is very valuable when healthy, but he hasn't been healthy. So take care of this nagging stuff, get as close to 100% as you can get, and come back. Mm-hmm. Landon Slaggert, on the other hand, I noticed this quote the other night. This was actually on Halloween. This came out. This was Friday. Ben Pope tweeted, Landon Slaggert hasn't stood out much in his first 4 games this season, and he quotes Jeff Blashill here, quote, he's in the conversation of, if we're going to put a guy in, who are we taking out? Ultimately, what you want to do as a young player is get yourself out of that conversation. Mm-hmm. So that's Blashill pretty much saying, like, look, man, if he's going to play, he's got to show us a little bit more. Now, in fairness to Landon Slaggert, hurt in training camp.
Yeah.
Hurt
at the beginning
of the year, and then he got sick. Sick was in training camp too, I think.
Training camp was hurt and sick at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then hurt again to start the season.
And that's why Ryan Green's here.
Right. So.
And then Ryan Green took his chance and ran with it.
Yes. So I really like Landon Slaggert. Notre Dame guy, I'm a Notre Dame fan, but we are getting to the point now in the Blackhawks rebuild where as we start wondering, like, who's going to be here when they're good? Guys like Landon Slaggert, who are on the bubble right now, are probably going to be on the outside looking in when Frondell and Kanserov and all these young players start to arrive. Mm-hmm. I don't see a spot for him in the NHL. I'm not saying that Landon Slaggert has played his last game in Chicago, but if Oliver Moore comes up here and
doesn't go
performs,
back down.
I don't know. Unless you make some deals at the deadline, maybe you move Lafferty, maybe you move Dickinson, and then you're not bringing anybody up from college or Sweden or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I don't know, man. I don't see a path for him back here short of some injuries.
Guys we really like and guys that we've invested in seeing them grow and develop are going to start to not have spots in Chicago anymore. And that's the reality of a team getting better. And we had the first real taste of that with Lucas Reichel being moved out. And again, like you said, I'm also not saying Landon Slager's done in the NHL or done with the Blackhawks, but it's starting to become a numbers game with where these guys are at and how they're developing and what paths they're on and what roles they're going to play. And Landon Slager is a really good player, a guy that you really like to have on your team, the style of player that he is. But Oliver Moore is all of that and a little bit more.
Yeah. Yes.
With as far as skill goes and probably the upside at the NHL level to be more than just fast, hard forechecking, good locker room guy, all that stuff. Oliver Moore can do all of that and also has scoring potential, has playmaking potential. And that's just one of those things that's just going to start to be. We're going to have these guys that find these roles and carve out a path to the NHL. And then there's also going to be guys that are just better at that.
Yeah.
They have all those tools and then some. So, I mean, that's another guy that I feel like could be, like, as we look at the pecking order of the Blackhawks in the next year or two, another guy I think about is, like, Colton Dach. Like, I like his game. Can he be big, bruising, wrecking ball, power forward guy and carve out a spot in the NHL long term doing that?
Because I think that he's got a better shot of it than Slager because he's bigger.
Well, they have some other big forwards coming in that can be physical and maybe they're not going to do 8-9 hits a night, but they can play physical but also give you some scoring pop, give you a play on power. Like I look at Boisvert and I look at Frondel and they're like big guys that can play physical, but also like they're going to put up points in the NHL.
Yeah. Our buddy Lebowski said that, Slaggert is a fourth line player on a good team. It's up a little bit, Sarah. But he says you need like cheap players in the NHL. But here's the deal. You're going to have so many guys on entry-level contracts coming up. So, yeah, you've got to sign Bedard. You've already extended Nazar. Moore's on a rookie deal. Green's on a rookie deal. Mm-hmm. Then a couple of years, those guys graduate. Then Frondel's got a couple years left on a rookie deal.
Boisvert.
And then Boisvert's got it, and Canceral's got it. And then those guys go, and then it's Mason West and Vaclav Nestrasil. And those guys will be on rookie deals. So, like...
By then, a lot of other players will be on second and third contracts.
Sure,
yeah,
but it doesn't. They're not going to run into cap issues for a while. Like next year,
probably not.
They've got to spend $20 million to get to the floor,
right?
And they don't have any roster spots to do it. So you basically have to pay Bedard $13-14 million. You probably want to pay Mikheyev $5 or $6 million
if you want to bring him
to
back,
get to the cap floor, because you're not just going to go take on you. And of course, you can go find your retired LTIR contracts to get to the floor that way, but you're not going to just start signing guys because they're expensive. You don't want to take those roster spots because there's so many guys there
that are
going to be playing.
Going to do that. Yeah.
So cap is not an issue at all, and maybe those guys are not, like, if you would say a traditional fourth line player, but you know who else wasn't a fourth line player really? Marcus Kruger. Anywhere else in the NHL, he's a third line, maybe even a second line guy.
Could have been, yeah.
Right? Like, so when you have depth, and again, I know we always draw back to the dynasty, but it's top of mind for a lot of people. Like, when you draft really well and you've got a lot of guys who have proven to be NHL ready, you're going to have some guys playing under their skill level, just simply out of need, simply out of demand.
Right, yeah.
So, and they'll get their opportunities here and there, but it's very likely that, like Boisvert could be your third line center because could be your fourth line center because you've got Bedard, Frondel, Nazar. However, that all shakes out at center. Mm-hmm. It's just like it kind of is what it is, So there's gonna be
there's gonna be business decisions made.
And Lebowski says Mason West and Nestrasil are a few years away. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But you're still on rookie deals for more. And you're still on rookie deals for these guys. Like, there's so many guys that are years away from big extensions. Green's got this year and next. Moore's got this year and next. Levchinov has this year and next. Renzel has this year and next. And then their next deals aren't going to be massive. Right? So
you don't. I mean,
they're not going to be in cap trouble for some time.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So anyway, and Slager's going to need a new deal at the end of next year as well.
Maybe.
So he is an arbitration eligible restricted free agent.
If there's a spot, I mean, that's the thing. That's the part of this conversation. Is just like, Korchinski and Del Mastro and Allen are RFAs this summer. Are all of them back? You think probably, but who knows?
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a lot of decisions to be made over the next few years. I'll say for perspective, my year 3 of my NHL 26 be a GM mode with the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Cale Makar hit free agency, which was nice. I had to pay him $21 million per year to be $1 million over the cap floor because of how many guys are on entry-level contracts.
And look, like that's what Blake's staff says. You keep floating this idea of playing more to hit the cap floor. I don't like it. And Dave says you screw overpaying. We don't need that space in the future. The cap is skyrocketing.
Right.
So paying Connor Bedard $14 million, if it gives you the 8 years, or maybe because there is some talk that he might just sign a 5-year deal.
Right.
But if say, hey, look, we're going to give you a little bit more. We're going to bet on you because we want the 8. It's going to feel like an overpay now, but in 2 years it's not.
Right.
So we can't be thinking about it in terms of 2-3 years ago. We got to be looking into the future
right
because this
now,
cap is going up and up and up.
Yeah, right now there's no reason to clutch our salary cap pearls because last year's cap was 88.5. That's going to be the floor like next year.
Right.
Like they have to spend a lot of money.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting to game time. So do us a favor on your way out. If you've not done it yet, hit that like button and be sure to join us as soon as the Hawks and Kraken wrap up another late night game. Let's hope the Hawks get away with 2 points and maybe a goal or two for Oliver Moore. That would be a great way to start this week. We'll be back after the game. Talk to you then on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast presented by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.